Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. That music is
Okay.
some inspirational stuff.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. You have 5 minutes each for your presentation. Is that working? 5 minutes for your presentation. This is the class. I'll show you the class if you are online.
It's blurry. I can't see
blurry.
anything.
Can't see
Wait,
anything.
guys, wait, please.
It's-
Wait.
No, it's
It's
completely
blurry.
blurry.
Can't see anybody.
Looks like a
I
lot
can't
of
see a
people
single
though.
person.
What?
Feel like you
I
guys
can't-
blurred.
Maybe it's blurred.
Yeah.
You have it blurred right now, so
Okay,
Oh, there you
someone-
go.
Social
That works
anxiety.
can't hear anything.
See them?
Whoa.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
guys, wait. Say
A
hi.
lot of people.
Hello.
Hello.
A lot of pressure now.
Yeah, that's true. Why do you guys have the nice room?
How many people do you have in there right now?
Yeah.
Hey, boss. 56. I'm recording.
56.
Oh, recording. You're good.
Oh, look, I'm like full screen on your.
It's
Okay.
19, what is it, 1987?
Next. Okay, 5 minutes. Go ahead. 4 minutes now. Now you have 4 minutes. Okay, introduce yourself. 4 minutes presentation. Go ahead.
Who started?
Who is going first? Okay, let's look. Let me look at the
John and
alphabet.
Jared.
No, get the wheel, not me.
Participants.
We're not gonna spin the wheel.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't know. Jared, go first, and then
Oh.
Jared, Anthony, Eric, Goat.
I think you should do Jared and John together
Jay,
because they're pretty much
Jesse.
working together all the time.
We have a joint one.
Trevor, go ahead.
I'm just here for the extra
Okay,
credit.
John.
No,
I
you
don't
have
work
3
yet.
minutes.
All right.
All right, John.
I'm just trying to pass so I
Go
can
ahead.
graduate.
Okay, Jared, go share the screen.
Me share the screen or you share the screen?
I shared. Okay.
Yeah, you share it. I don't have it pulled up anymore.
Okay. Oh, sharing sound
So-
turned on. Okay.
No, you have to.
Oh. Let's see. Permission. Oh yeah, okay. Sure. Okay. So, hi, I'm Jonathan or John. I graduated, or yeah, I'm working for Northrop as an associate electrical engineer.
And I'm Jared Nunez. I work at Northrop as well, but I'm a radio frequency design engineer.
Okay, so a little bit about us or me. So graduated last year, time flies, in electromechanical systems engineering technology. Yeah, and got a job like 7 months after just job hunting, and then landed a spot in Salt Lake City. So now I'm in Salt Lake City.
All right, and then I graduated in the fall, so this last December, and got a job with Northrop. That same December, I got the offer, but then started in February over in their Baltimore, Maryland location.
Oh,
So yeah. So what do we do now? So I work under the aerospace structures division as a electrical engineer, and I work under the machine design group. So basically, I guess like my department, we specialize in composite manufacturing. So we'll be like designing robots and just using those for production. So some of the responsibilities that I'm a part of is designing in-house electrical control systems for composite manufacturing machines. Also drafting and creating electrical documentation of these machines, because we have like several machines that are like 20-ish years old, and we've had like a bunch of engineers over the years just like throw stuff and upgrade, and they haven't been documented, so I'm part of that effort, as well as sensor integrations for new stuff that we're going to be testing out, and also production support, because we have a production facility, but my side's more of an R&D environment.
All right, so this is for what I do. I don't work with John. We talk a lot at work, but we don't work in the same sector. I work for space. So what I specifically work on is the electronic hardware design team. So they're kind of tasked with working with space sector and mission systems, which work on mostly planes, and we work on different electronics. But our group is splitting into 2 groups. So I'm getting moved into an RF focus group very soon. But I work specifically with the remote sensing satellites. That's our program, and so that's basically just satellite imaging through emitting radiation and kind of tracking the feedback. And we have a lot of different projects that are just like either it could be like networks of small satellites that go and expand out, or it could be like one large component satellite. But basically, that's just kind of the sector that I'm working in. So my responsibilities for that right now, my main focus is to do module testing. So what that means is I get like circuit boards, and they had to go through like certain requirements, like say it has to output at certain frequencies while kind of going through different temperatures. So a lot of what my time spent doing is I'm working in chambers, kind of like that one at the bottom. As you can tell, it's a little bit Photoshop because you're not allowed to take pictures. But it's kind of like that. I just go put in a circuit board, run it at different temperatures, test the output, and measure stuff like return loss and how like the spurs are. Track all that data, and then I can allow it to like pass on units, so those get moved on into the satellites, or they get sent back for repair. And that's also part of my job is I have to try and troubleshoot these defective boards. So that's kind of going through circuits and schematics and PWBs and everything, just kind of going through and trying to find where your issues might be coming from, and then testing things through with your VNAs, oscilloscopes, power meters, equipment like that. And besides that, I also work on updating the test procedures for those units. So the PDFs that you have to follow when doing those tests. And I also train the technicians who are supposed to precede me to test those. So that's like my main focus. Sometimes I'll do like circuit analysis as well, like for the power electronics team. So that's a little more similar to something like PSpice. It's not PSpice, but it's a little more similar to that. So if you've gotten used to those electronic classes, it's kind of an idea of what that's like. But just like in a day-to-day though, I'm mostly just working with like a processor team. So I kind of go through, tell them what units are passing, what units aren't, and kind of help track everything so we can keep a flow of different output of different projects. So yeah, that's my regular job.
Okay. See, so real quick, some career advice. MSET is really broad, which is a good thing because you get to be exposed to like a lot of different disciplines. So I guess like since it's like the mechatronics class, or maybe like other people are in there, but yeah, in robotics you're gonna be mainly working with mechanical, electrical, and software. So it'd be a good idea to find out what you're interested in and then fill in like a niche in that type of environment. For job stuff, applying daily to company websites. I emphasize company websites because I'm not sure about like the LinkedIn process or like Indeed, but I found more success in like applying directly on like a Workday application. And then also consider applying for rotational programs for companies. So for Northrop, there's a Pathways program for like recent graduates, and then that allows you to rotate around different sites and get to like spend like at least a year on these sites, and then you get to grow and then rotate to another team, and then yeah, you do that for like 3 times, and then try to get like a offer or like a final place that you want to settle in. And yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. I wasn't aware of that when I was a college undergrad, so definitely look into these type of opportunities. Yeah, also creating an online project portfolio for your resumes also helps you when you're in your interview process, because you can like rapidly pull up what you've done on your projects, and then you can just like scroll around. Yeah, and then some job prep stuff, resume reviews, pretty good, mock interviews, also attending like collegiate networking events. So there's some like the Society of Hispanic Professionals and Engineers. They have their like their conference happening in October, at the end of October in Anaheim. So it's a good opportunity to meet up with a lot of different industries and companies and try to network. And then yeah, there's also Society of Asians Scientists and Engineers that's happening in Boston.
Oh, sorry, you're still
Oh.
talking.
Oh, that's sorry.
Oh, do you have more slides?
Questions.
That's a good question.
Oh my God, look at this. Embarrassing, guy.
These are all good photos.
But yeah.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing. I'm very excited, and it's amazing what you do. Congratulations. A lot of congratulations. Many congratulations.
Yeah,
Do you have any questions for us, Professor? Do
Connect with them if you want, huh?
yeah.
you have any questions for us?
Quick questions, two
No,
questions.
you.
Good. Two questions quickly.
You got a question?
We can ask
Ask
at
us,
the,
sir.
yeah, Professor Herder has a
So
question.
Jared,
Oh.
when you were in, IMSET, you didn't study any RF or microwave, so how did that transition go?
Okay, yeah, so RF is very niche. It's not something that people study very often. So what I actually got into it was working with a company called Wavestream. They're located in San Dimas, great company. They do a lot of radio frequency development there. They make power amplifiers. So I ended up getting an internship there and working with their electronics and working with the little RF boards, and a lot of those skills kind of directly translated over because a lot of the equipment's the same. So I would say, like, if you want to get into something like RF, look for some sort of niche group like ham radio, especially. That's like the biggest advice because that's the easiest to get into. But other than that, yeah, I'd say definitely look for internships that might have some sort of specific focus because that definitely helps get your foot in the door. Like, it helps you stand out a lot.
Did you work with Jack Shropshire at the
Uh,
Waste?
He wasn't on the team that I was on, but I would go by his desk. He was a cool guy, so I'd go talk to him every once in a while. He's a real nice guy.
He's an ESET alumni.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, he would tell me about. He talked about you too. He said Herder, go talk to him if I want to get into like different ham radio and stuff. But that was when I was about to graduate, so I didn't have much of a chance. But yeah, he's a cool guy.
Okay, thank you, guys. So who was next? I said who's next? Go ahead, quickly share. We don't have time because there's a class after this.
Uh-oh.
Who is next? Who's in the chat?
Trevor, go.
Oh, we got a.
Was it me? I don't remember.
Okay, you can answer the chat, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, answer the chat message first.
So, Anthony, you're next.
Oh, never mind. My fault.
What? Anthony. Anthony's not here. Eric.
I was trying to.
Oh, okay. You have 4 minutes.
There you
Go.
Okay, hurry up. Let's go share. Wait, do you have access? Oh, there you go. Me too. All right. Here we go, guys. All right. Hello everybody. My name is Anthony Alcala. I am also a MSET major. So I recently just graduated over at Cal Poly in spring 2023. So the college life was really great. I do enjoy the time that we had. What's it called? Electrical mechanical systems engineering. Definitely is like John and Jared were saying, it's a very niche program for itself because it's super diverse. And I'll talk about it as I go through to my career. But currently right now I'm enrolled for University of Washington for my master's in science and power systems engineering. It's based in civil engineering, but it's focused in power systems. So eventually I try to plan to go to the power industry or utilities, so try to get into renewable energy. But let's move on to my career. And so you guys can see what I've done with the major that I had from the BA. So I started it off in 2021 to 2023 internship at Maui Microwave. I was interning as a manufacturing engineer that led to a full-time job within the year. So far it was doing really good. I enjoyed pretty much the whole time. And there was it's as a manufacturing engineer, our main goal here was, of course, making everything safe in the shop, making sure processes were streamlined to focus on how to design these certain products. At Maui Microwave, we created nano waveguides or tuners, similar to what Jared's saying from Wavestream. They're actually competitors, I would say. Not necessarily competitors. You can consider them as allies as well. They kind of like work together in some sense. But they do kind of compete in some end. But yeah, the products here, they're pretty much these nano waveguide tuners. And then we also created the connectors and what's it called, waveguides Here is some of these ideas of what things that I've done. There's a lot of troubleshooting errors on the shop. We're working with CNC machines all the time. There is a Haas machine, Swiss machines, which if you guys don't know, Haas is your kind of 5-axis. Swiss machines are your 7-axis milling machines, lathes, and then you got your turns. But yeah, my main goal as a manufacturing engineer is to try to keep the processes going and things being made. So if there's issues in the shop, safety concerns, processes to not complete items, that's kind of like my goal is to help alleviate those issues. And that's how I kind of like got through with all this stuff. So for example, quick example we have right here is we have some templates that I created just so that we didn't have some issues on our lapping machine. I had designed it a new safety feature from our old process of how we remove these. This is a lapping high res machine. You won't see them as often, but it's usually made for like very high fine quality surfaces that you need very flat. But it was a very bad safety concern because we're lifting with these broken chains and like how to design some kind of fixture to be able to lift it up safely with your hands and fingers, not in this deadly zone. So luckily nobody's lost a finger in this, but with this, it's going to definitely help prevent it. But of course, I left that company and I went off to Boeing. I don't have too much exciting stuff to show for you, but for here, I'm currently working as an electrical design and analysis engineer for the in-flight entertainment for over there in Boeing Commercial Airlines here in Everett, Washington. So yeah, I did take a move from Southern California all the way to Washington. It's great out here so far, at least the summer. The winter's a little rough, but it's doable. um, but here, what I do here is pretty much in charge of a lot of the design and electrical stuff for your entertainment while you're flying, cross countries or pretty long distances in either your 777 or your 787 Boeing. Um, so all of that in entertainment devices, your chargers, your whole monitor and screen, the PA systems, all that stuff at electrical systems is kind of like what I'd be in charge of to kind of make sure everything's in line. Um, it's a big company, so you're going to be talking with a lot of different people. It's always talking with suppliers. I think maybe it's 80% of my days talking with suppliers and working with them. So I can go into a lot of details with this, but I know Professor Furbad wants to kind of keep the ball rolling. So if you have questions at the end, I'll be willing to answer. But yeah, it's a big change in environment. I went from a small company to a very large company. So there's a definite big culture difference if you go. I highly recommend. So getting to the send off notes towards the end right now. So let's MSET. If you're worried about your major or ESET, if you're worried about your major, don't be. Engineering is engineering. If it's you're there to solve a problem. So if you're worried that this isn't going to get you a job or something, it will. The job market out there is really hard in general. But if you can be able to snag that internship or some kind of program that they offer, the clubs like John and Jared were stating, I would definitely go out there and do it. It's going to help you in the long run. Not necessarily just the skills, but also, the networking. So you can be able to talk to people. That's a very important factor. Um, the type of work that you can acquire. As you can see, I went from manufacturing engineering to now an electrical engineer. So like I said, the MSET route is definitely a really handy, I would say a beneficial major that you can be able to major in. You have this diverse ability to focus with a lot heavy mechanical side with an emphasis in electrical. So you still can be able to fit in with the electrical engineers. I could tell you this, I'm probably the only mechanically focused engineer right now at Boeing right now compared to my whole entire team. They're all EE majors, but it still works. Being at my past job, I'm able to deal with a lot of business stuff when it comes to actually how a company runs. And then, like I said already, engineering, you're there to solve a problem. and whether it's electrical, civil stuff, you know, like your main focus there is to solve an issue, what's going on, or to help alleviate these issues. Um, you know, and I would say my last unsolicited advice is to you know, try to get out there, try to network, try to talk to, go to those conventions, go to those little events. I know it's very hard to find a job or an internship, but don't give up, and then just keep adjusting your resume. Um, it's 2024. All these big companies that right now are just using these auto generators that are running through resumes like it's butter. They're just kind of just scanning through, catching keywords, you know. So make sure you adjust that stuff. Um, so so yeah, definitely adjust to that. There's
Thank you,
plenty of
Anthony.
resources out there. So
I loved your presentation. Any questions?
yeah. So any
Question?
questions? Feel free to and I can answer as whatever needs
Or
be.
later, or you can put it in the chat. They are not on, how can they put it in the chat? They are here. Okay, anyway, so thank you very much. No question. I don't think there's a question. Eric, next. Any question? No, I don't think so. No time. There's a class after this.
All right. All right. So, hey everyone, I'm Eric. I graduated in December 2023, and let's just get into it. So, I had 3 internships. One at Joby Aviation as a test engineer, working on electric planes. Then I went to Volvo, and I was a test engineer there on asphalt compactors and construction equipment. And then my third internship, I went to Cummins and worked on generators as an electrical engineer. This is a great example of MSET being, it covers a lot of bases, and you can go pretty much anywhere, and you'll have enough experience at least to get a position, and someone will go, okay, cool, you know, hey, I know electrical stuff, so I can work on generators, but I can also do more of the mechanical side. And I'll get into that a bit on my next slide. So once I graduated, I also went to Boeing. Originally, I was on missile defense, which is up in Vandenberg, California. It's a little north of Santa Barbara. I was there for a few months as a liaison engineer, which is basically, it means you're an in-between between the design engineers and the actual manufacturing and what's happening to the real product that's being made. Unfortunately, there were some budget cuts, and I was the last in, so I was the first out. Thankfully, Boeing found me another gig down back towards LA, and so now I'm in Long Beach, and I'm on a rotation program, with my first rotation being on auxiliary propulsion units, mainly on the 777. And that basically means I'm implementing design changes whenever production needs something to change, as well as certifying the newest 777. So here are some pictures of my missile defense stuff. And then now that I'm on 777, the auxiliary propulsion unit is the engine in the back of the plane. It's the one that you actually hear when you're boarding. And so, yeah, I've had quite the journey. And one of the things that is really great about a rotation program, especially in terms of MSET, is you can hop around and give a bunch of things a try and figure out what you like and don't like. I know I'm in a very mechanical group right now, and I don't like it. But what's cool is I'm on a rotation, so I can go, okay, let me try and swap to something more electrical or more testing, something like that. And so if you get the opportunity to do a rotation, or you can apply for rotations, I highly recommend it. It's great. As far as the probably the biggest recommendation I would say is apply for internships before you graduate. Like the number of people I know who didn't do any internships, and seeing how difficult it is for them to get jobs, it's really significant. Clearly I did 3, so I had, you know, when you're walking onto a career fair floor and, you know, your buddy next to you has none and you have 3, it's a big difference. And I got this Boeing job because I went to a career fair and put in my resume through that rather than just applying on LinkedIn or Indeed or something like that. I never had much success with those. I always was more getting more I was always getting a lot more success from these events, which was weird during the COVID era. But thankfully that's all changed now. Yeah, it's MSET's a really great program. Right now I'm the only one on my team who has any electrical background. And so when we're talking about electrical stuff, there are just a bunch of purely mechanical engineers. And I'm the only one who has a clue of like, oh, well, this is how wires work. So yeah, it's an awesome opportunity. But yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat.
Any
Yeah,
questions?
I appreciate it.
Jesse, you're next. Thank you. You guys are very impressive, your work so far. I applied for Boeing for many times when I was young. I never got the job, so well done, guys. Anyway, Jesse,
All right, can you guys hear me?
okay?
All right, how do I share my screen?
Okay, you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Oh, cool.
No.
No, because I still haven't actually started the job. I start on Monday, so I
Okay,
have
no
very
problem.
little to talk.
You can tell,
Give him 10 minutes.
so you can tell about your future experience.
All right, so pretty much, I don't know how to share my screen, so I'll just pretty much show or talk about what I was gonna write.
Just
So pretty
share.
much,
You
okay.
want? Oh, I didn't maybe let you to share. Where are you? You moved.
Hold on.
No.
Wait.
Okay. You can share. Just at the bottom is a share. Share.
Screen.
At the
Yeah,
bottom.
okay, I see it now. There you go. All right.
Oh, wow. What's that?
So, here you go.
Finally. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Cool.
How do I go to full screen? There you go. Okay.
Awesome.
So, all right. So, my name is Jesse Renteria. I've recently graduated this, or actually last December. And I'm actually about to start my first job on Monday with NAVSEA. So my specific role is going to be ammunition surveillance. And pretty much what I'll be doing there is just, it's like a program in which I kind of make sure that all the ammunition kind of meets like the spec. So obviously, like rocket propulsed munitions, they need to go a certain distance and you don't want it to just go haywire immediately and like blow you up right in front of you. So I'm not too sure exactly what they're going to teach me yet, because all of this was, I guess, classified information with the Navy. But yeah, so I really don't have much to talk about. But what I can talk about is what I did wrong when I was trying to apply for jobs, and just kind of my struggles that I had to even get my first job, like 6 months later. So pretty much the main thing that I want to tell you guys is, hesitation kills. Like a lot of times when I was reading job postings like on Indeed or LinkedIn, I'd see like, oh, these guys want like 2 years of experience. It's like all sorts of mechanical things that you never heard of. And a lot of times I would just be like, oh man, I don't know what this is. I can't do this. That's like the worst possible thinking you could have. A lot of times these companies will actually call you back and actually try to help you get the training that you need. And that's honestly like the worst that could possibly happen. I've had this happen once when I was applying for Motorola Solutions as a RF engineer, actually. it was like a senior position, but for some reason they actually called me back and they're saying like, yeah, we will teach you all the information you need. Because I specifically told them my limited or my experience with RF was extremely limited, and actually I had to I thank Professor Herder for that, since he kind of showed me one of the books that he uses for his RF class, and that little bit was just, I guess, enough for me to get my foot in the door. But in the end, I lost that job to an actual like senior engineer. And then one of my second greatest mistakes was back during school when I was trying to take an internship. I actually had an opportunity to work with Haas or machining. So what ended up happening with that was, because this was like 3 hours away from my home, the job or the pay wasn't going to be that well. So I kind of started thinking a little bit more, oh, this doesn't really make sense financially. And that's another kind of bad thing to think about. I mean, yes, you have to have enough money to obviously survive, have food, and obviously a shelter. But specifically when it comes to internships, there's going to be there's like a huge chance that there's a bunch of other people that are there with you. So you could probably bunk with these people and get like what do they call it? Like an Airbnb during the summer. And sometimes you really have to go through hell if you want to get to where you want to be. Yeah, like I said, I still haven't started my job. Start on Monday. Oh, actually, one other thing. If you're trying to apply for a federal job, be very careful. For some reason, our degree doesn't count as an actual engineering degree. It's considered a technical degree. And a lot of the times when I was applying for NAVSEA, NAVAIR, NAVWAR, and even the Air Force civilian service, they were telling me, oh, we can only get you as a technician. I'm not too sure why they do that, but it seems to be only limited to actual federal positions. So anything with the US government. If you guys stick with like private sector, like obviously with Boeing, Northrop, and Lockheed, you should be fine. You should get that engineering title right away. But
Great.
yeah, that's the only thing I gotta say.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Any question? Quick question?
No?
That was great. Thank you very much. So next time you have more material, I'm hoping that.
Yeah, I was just here to watch. I don't know why you called me.
I'm sure you will have more material, okay, to present. Okay, who is next?
Trevor.
Oh, Trevor. Who is Trevor? Oh, Trevor's been present with you?
Oh, he's up there.
No, I mean presenting with you or? Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah.
Good to see. Very nice presentation. Excellent. Very helpful. Okay, go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, 1 sec. Let me get it up.
2 minutes.
Okay. I'll do it in 1 minute.
Did you work on that missile behind you?
I do.
Dang, that's crazy.
Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm Trevor. I'm a mechanical design engineer for Lockheed Martin right now. So what did I do before Lockheed? I went to Palomar College down in San Marcos. I got my associates in mathematics before transferring to Cal Poly. That's where I got my bachelor's in EMET, as everybody else has said, from this presentation. And kind of contrary to what's been said already, I don't have any professional experience. I never got an internship. I never got any kind of official position before what I have right now. So I was a manager at Five Guys for 5 years. And then I was also a forklift driver at Costco for 2 years. And then this is a picture of me on my very first day training. But okay, how did I get hired? I have no idea. So again, going back to what Eric was saying, I kind of want to emphasize that like having an internship really gives you the foot in the door, gives you kind of that step up, gives you that sort of like reason to be on a manager's desk, to be reviewed in the first place. But it's not necessarily essential. I think what really stood out for me getting hired was, my sort of my drive to work in my actual blue collar jobs, as well as some of my projects that I'd done through school. So if you present yourself well and you're able to talk well in an interview, I think it'll be good with kind of getting through that initial step, to kind of get through, sort of that initial review process and kind of going forward from there.
So you don't necessarily need an internship. I know it's kind of hard right now. Everybody said it's almost impossible with where the job market is, but as long as you present yourself well, you should be okay. As for what I do now that I'm at Lockheed, I'm a design engineer, and I primarily use Creo, formerly Pro-E for the PAC-3 Missile Systems program. And I'm based out of Grand Prairie, Texas, for Lockheed MFC. Basically what I do is I support the production. So I don't work on the development side. I don't do a whole lot of hands-on work. I do more sustaining the already built drawings and sort of models for production, which that can kind of range from dealing with quality non-conformance issues. So anytime that something's built in the shop and they find something that didn't sort of correspond to the drawing that it was based off of, or the work instructions or whatever, they send it out to us, the engineers, to look at it and figure out how to go from there. How do we fix this issue type of deal. Along with that stuff, I also do a lot of development for sort of test configurations. So I help with anytime some kind of new component comes in, you have to really build up your assemblies and everything else to facilitate this stuff. And so I think kind of what Jared said in the chat, you got to reach out and sort of put your foot in the door. You have to force your foot into the door to kind of get put on some of these other programs. Otherwise, you will just be, babysat and kind of put in the corner to really not do a whole lot. And so I think I've done that for myself as well, kind of forced myself into a lot of projects. I guess another thing as well with the mechanical side is tolerance analysis, which is it's just critical. There's been so many instances that I've come across where, mission failures and stuff because of something so tiny that overlooked. Along with, if you're working in an office environment, you're just dealing with emails and teams and people just not responding. I'm telling you, I wait weeks for people to respond to me for the dumbest things. I can't move forward until they're done. And the office environment is pretty draining. Kind of wish I was in more of a lab environment, but it's still rewarding. You still get a lot out of it. And then finally, I do have some appreciation for Farbod, of course, greatest inspiration. The sign that clearly says "Do not touch." He touched it. He's such a silly guy. And of course, Dr. Clooney.
Says do not. Okay, thank you, Trevor. Thank you very much. That was the explosion was cool too. Thank you. Any question? One question, Claude? Probably no. No. Okay, thank you. They can ask later, but then let's see. David, I think you're the last. Is there anyone else here? David, go ahead. 2 minutes. Oh, there are two David.
I'm just here to watch Farbod.
Okay, no problem. You can talk about your scuba diving, maybe.
Sure, yeah.
You want to advertise?
Oh yeah, if you guys are still at Cal Poly, you have a really good scuba program at the Brick. Cheapest place you can get it in all of California. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, David, are you presenting or what? David?
Oh, I'm here. I don't know why my camera stopped working. That's weird. Okay. Well, I'm not currently working in any of my mechanical or electrical positions right now. I'm actually looking for schools to pursue like a PhD program. I'm actually interested in a couple of different things. I did apply for a couple of companies just to pass the time. And one thing that I screwed up on my my resume is that I added too much information, which kind of shies some companies away from me. There's a company right there in Chino. Oh, is my thing still working?
That's David, guys. That's not good. You don't,
Oh.
your camera doesn't work?
Yeah, half of my stuff doesn't work. I have no idea why my I don't know if it's Zoom. It's telling me that my mic's not like picking up, but I don't know if you
So
guys can hear
David
me.
is looking for a job. Does anyone have any suggestion here?
I'm not looking for.
You guys maybe?
I'm not looking for a job. I'm
No,
not
you're
really
not?
looking for a job. Just like
Oh, you don't
no,
even
I'm
looking
just
for a job.
what?
So
No,
can you
I'm
sing for
I'm
us,
chilling for
maybe?
now.
Can you sing? You want? No.
Thing?
So yeah, maybe sing for us.
Oh,
No.
no, when I was interviewing for the part for
Some
some like jobs that I
presentation,
wanted to just pass
something to
time,
share? Do you have anything to share?
they'll just the Billy Bot. If people want to work on your project for the Billy Bot,
Oh,
because
Billy
I
Bot,
noticed that
thank you,
the
thank
people are
you,
supposed.
thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, by the way,
I
David
noticed that the
was
people that were
leading the
working.
project. He was leading the Billy Bot project. Anyone interested? His autonomous robot tour guide that we are building. David did a lot of great work on that. Thank you, David. So anything else? Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish we could see you.
I'm sorry, David.
I miss you, but
Farbod's being mean right now.
Go
Go,
ahead.
go sit down, man. Go sit down. You're being so mean to David. David just wants to have a time to shine, okay?
Yay!
Don't look at me.
How you doing, Richard?
Richard Rico.
You guys not a real engineer, please get him off screen.
I got it.
Hey, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? That's Acorn certified right there.
I think so.
Capybara.
Where's the? Oh, I'm funny.
How you doing, Richard? How you doing?
We're trying to focus. Give me a second.
Oh my God! All of a sudden you're focusing.
Yeah. That's not that. Why is it not showing up? It's not showing up. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got it. We're good.
if you copy it, if you do.
What? Who is that? Where's Zoom at?
Is this working? Hello. Is this working? Is it working? Working?
Oh, hello.
Go ahead. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Gotcha. Where I can't see. How do I move? You want to get out of the way?
It's
All right.
Yes, hold on.
just press that
Don't
right
touch,
there.
don't touch anything.
Here we go. We're good. All right, we all work for Acorn Engineering, the best company ever. Do you want to go introduce yourself?
I'm Jericho.
Hey, Justin.
My name is Jericho Lingo. I actually was the first one to join the company. I joined in.
Whatever.
I joined in the beginning of July of 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22. And I've been enjoying the job ever since. Back to Richard.
You guys can switch on.
I'm Justin. I technically don't really work for this Acorn, but like a subsidiary. But I was the last to join because it's not a race. But you know.
And I'm Richard. I'm the middle guy to join, obviously. I joined right after Jericho did in August. And I've been working there for about 2 years now.
You continue.
Okay, so I can see their face or what? Oh,
Yeah.
look at
Anthony looks good.
I'm supposed to see your face.
No, they can see me. Can you see me, Anthony?
Yeah, you know you're good.
Yeah,
You're
see,
good.
we're good.
It's good. You minimize.
We're good. Yeah, we're good. What are you doing? All right, there you go.
Running the recording.
All right, go, there you go.
All right, so as I said,
Yeah.
oh, my bad. So I graduated in May 2023 with the rest of these guys, except for Justin. Also in EMET, like pretty much everyone that presented. I finished with a 3.25, and I transferred here to Cal Poly from Riverside Community College.
All right. So I also graduated May 2023 with a degree in MSET. I finished with a 3.16 GPA. I actually came into Cal Poly straight out of high school. I was in physics, and then I ended up transferring to MSET because I thought MSET would be cool. Fun fact about these shoes: our boss signed it, and President Coley signed it. So I have those sitting in a nice glass box right now with my diploma. Fun fact. Go ahead.
Do we need this? I don't think we need this.
I don't, dude, do whatever you want, man.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, I was also in MSET. I graduated like a semester early. But we all walked together. I don't know why we put our GPAs, but I finished with a 3.83.
Hey, he was the one that suggested it. I mean, look at his GPA. He's trying to flex.
Flex, dude.
Pass, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
But I transferred from Fullerton College.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're
yeah.
talking about this. All right, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, whatever,
we're
whatever.
good on that.
Nobody cares.
I don't understand. Why are you showing Anthony?
You did that. You did that.
It's all right.
We're good. Look at that. We're good. We're good. We're good.
It's all right.
All right. So we're
Okay.
good.
Yo, you talk. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
So when me and Jericho joined, we joined a subdivision of Acorn Engineering called Acorn Engineering Systems. Basically, they provide hot water really fast to showers, safety showers, so you don't die from chemical burns. Basically, me and Jericho are pretty much project engineers for like the first half of our first 6 months or so. We would design stuff like that up top right. And then the cool thing about being a project engineer would be that you get to actually see it being made. So that's like super cool to me because it's like kind of like, you know, you build it in SolidWorks, you work on it, and then like a couple months later, you're
Okay, talk.
a couple months later, you actually see it actually coming to fruition. What do you think of AES, Jericho?
So this is the first division I ever joined in Acorn. When I first joined, I pretty much started as you guys. I was an undergrad. I was still working a part-time job before I came across this job. But this job was very enlightening to me. It made me step into the field of engineering that I didn't think would like enlighten me to. So when I first entered this job, they assigned me this water temper skid. Same basically what Richard says, it's basically like a massive water heater that shoots water to a safety shower, even to like almost like 20 floors up. So I started in that. The previous engineer before me also did the same stuff, but I basically like continued his job because unfortunate events happened to him. So I took over for him. But unfortunately, this department doesn't exist right now. It came down to the wire, and unfortunately, we're not in this department anymore. So if you're interested in this product, we are completely sorry. That does not happen anymore.
How about future? Can I order it?
No, the guy that was kind of running that division got fired. Not enough money, you know, when it comes down to it, everything's about money. I hope you guys understand that. Yeah. So after AES, me and Jericho were pretty much homeless, and we joined Acorn Backflow Controls. Basically, Backflow Controls is the new product line that Acorn is trying to come out with. It's like a $400-500 million industry as of right now. And we do a bunch of different things within Acorn Backflow. We'll talk about it a little later. But some of the key things that we like doing, what I like doing personally, is communicating with our vendors. Especially, we have a lot of vendors overseas, especially in Taiwan and China. And so I think that's the biggest challenge I've faced is communicating with those vendors in Taiwan and China, because we have to do like a lot of pictures and sketches because sometimes they don't understand the English we're speaking. So I think that's the biggest challenge of communicating with vendors across seas. But also we do test fixtures and all that to test our devices before we send them out. And we'll talk about what a backflow is right after this slide. You want to talk about it, Jericho?
About this backflow?
Yeah.
So it's basically self-explanatory. It's so a backflow prevention device, it's basically a device that prevents backflow of water. Want to continue on that?
Yeah. So basically, as this little diagram shows right here, because sometimes when you have a vacuum break upstream, what happens is the water will actually go backwards, and sometimes that can be really bad, right? So if there's a contaminant downstream, it could actually end up in people's water, potable water. So that's why backflow prevention devices actually came around to prevent us public people getting sick from other people's contamination. This is one of our competitors. This is Zern. There's a guy named Travis in here somewhere. He hates that thing. He pisses on that thing. He gets dog piss on that thing. That's our main competitor. They're the biggest person in the market. And Acorn Engineering's goal is to be better than them in terms of price, better performance, and also
Availability.
Yep. Thank you, Jericho. So that's pretty much that. So what we're working on right now. Go ahead, Jericho.
Yeah, so my current project is developing this detector assembly up here. So we basically like we basically looked at our competitors, see how they built their bypass assemblies. And we basically just made our own right here. It's a simple device. It basically checks if the amount of water flowing through it is consistent with what's coming through the large device on there. So I've been developing this portion right here, and apparently it's a large like difficulty getting it to fit with the project or with the backflow device, because there's a lot of variables involved. You have to develop your own fittings. You gotta make it work. Stuff like that. So, Richard.
Another thing about the detector assembly that's really important is the reason why it's actually there is that city water lines are actually not metered and they're free. So what sometimes people do is tap off that line and basically give free water because now that's not metered. And so the whole point of that detector assembly is to make sure that people are not tapping off the free city water. And so that's the main function of that, is to make sure that no one's tapping off the free water. Now to what I do not as cool stuff as Jericho. I think Jericho does some really cool stuff. I'm basically the lab rat. I'm in charge of the laser etching part of our company. Basically, I programmed a laser to basically do different stuff. So like example here, I'm able to do plastics and I'm able to do brass here. The reason why is because I saw there could be company improvement in terms of cost, because we're spending so much money on these stupid little stickers and they're always getting lost. And it's just generally cheaper to do that. It's just a one-time cost. I also design test fixtures. So basically sometimes for our backflows, they have to go to USC to be tested and approved. That's the USC is the main governing body of backflows here in the US. I think also worldwide maybe too. I don't know. But basically I design the test fixtures so that they can test the backflows before they go to USC, because we want to make sure that our products are able to pass the first time, no problems. That's the goal. Obviously, it's sometimes hard to hit that goal, but that's what we strive for at Acorn.
I'm glad that you're spending the most time on Acorn, but that's, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Just continue, but go ahead. We have to.
What's funny?
Okay,
I have let's talk about, because I've been here for that long. I've been there since like April of this year, so I don't have like too much to talk about. But I work for a division called Acorn Vac. Essentially, it's Acorn's vacuum plumbing systems. Pretty much it's an alternative to underground plumbing. We use vacuum pressure and atmospheric pressure to basically do plumbing systems, right? So pretty much vacuum plumbing is basically we create vacuum pressure, right? So basically we use this pump to vacuumize this tank, right? And then so basically the atmospheric pressure, whatever you're trying to drain, is what's going to actually push this into the tank. That's what vacuum plumbing is. It has a lot of benefits. It actually uses less water if you guys are using like, I don't know, like a shower or like a toilet or something. It's also easy for, serviceability, because you're not going in the ground, you're actually going in the wall and you're going up. So you just need like an access panel and you can just replace a valve or something really quick. And we actually do a lot of business with like places like Trader Joe's, Aldi, Target, anywhere with the freezer cases with the condensation, because it's easy for them to actually move everything around if they want to actually remodel. Because if you go to like a local Target that was like 10 years ago, it's not the same as it is today. So yeah.
Will that work at Ranchos Salisbury's where the landslide is?
That's a great question. I don't want to find out. That's not my job. So again, so I work in the R&D department. So I mostly kind of like redesign and also like create new like little like subsystems or sensing devices. It's more so I'm just tinkering with a lot of the little stuff that goes along with the vacuum plumbing. So something like this, I had like an optical sensor fixture because project up in NorCal, their showers weren't draining because there was actually too big of a differential pressure for them to actually detect. So it wasn't able to like drain it properly. So what I did was I basically 3D printed this fixture with an optical sensor that detects water.
Almost done.
And et cetera, et cetera. I'm also working on a toilet flush controller. Funny enough, it's actually like an industrial Arduino, works on the 24 volts. I never thought I would have to use Arduino again, but they asked me to, so prototype it really quick, so I'm working on that. And I'm redesigning this valve because there's cavitation and it's loud. And doctors apparently don't like it in their office because they're weird.
We use SolidWorks, fluid mechanics, electrical concepts. Read that. Yeah, lots of good stuff right there. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. That's our presentation.
No question for you.
No.
So you guys working hard or hardly working? I'm just going off of that photo.
Next,
Love you guys.
don't touch anything. We need a still
Yeah, I know.
presentation.
Either. Hey, trust me for a lot. Trust me. I got you.
Well done, guys. Well done. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay, we can do it. We can do it. Okay, first things first.
If you want
Okay.
that.
I need you to get a good picture of me, okay? All right.
Can I stay?
Yeah, you can be here. You can be here.
Sorry.
Take one more.
Right?
Alright.
Okay.
Oh, I know Dassault Systems when I see it.
And then one of me just like standing right here.
Yeah.
Alright.
1. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Seconds left.
All right, that's for my end of year performance review. All right, guys. So my name's Brian Atwater. I work at Dassault Systems. Specifically, I work under SolidWorks Electrical. I work with SolidWorks CAD in addition to electrical, usually for like 3D routing cases, electrical 3D stuff like that. But basically, I am a user success engineer, and pardon me because I was not informed that this was even happening until way later than these guys had to get ready. And I made this PowerPoint literally after I got here. So anyway, so I am a user success engineer. So what does that mean? I'm fancy technical support. So yeah, I work with SolidWorks Electrical, Electrical 3D. So what'll happen is you'll have these schematics that they'll put together within SolidWorks Electrical, and that can then integrate into SolidWorks CAD. So you can sort of automate your modeling, automate your wiring routes, all that sort of good stuff. Primarily, it's used for cabinets, stuff like what you see on the right, so like automation, industrial stuff. Every now and then, I'll get people who are working with harnesses, and that stuff's usually pretty fun. We'll see some stuff from all kinds of different interesting things, Teslas and stuff of that nature. Couldn't find any of those assemblies because, again, I made this in about 20 minutes, but here we are. I went one too far. Okay, well, I had another slide in here, but it looks like it didn't save. So yeah, short and sweet and to the point. Does anybody have any questions?
We can have one question. Thank you. Okay. This is the same Elastina, yes?
What's
Elastina? Is that Elastina the software? Oh, it's SolidWorks. Oh,
Mine's in PDF. I made it on Google Slides. That's what I did on Google Slides. I didn't do it. I don't have PowerPoint at home.
we're not sharing. Why are we not sharing the screen?
Caesar.
We didn't share the screen when you present.
Yeah, you did.
We did.
Hi,
share?
Caesar.
Hi.
Did you see the presentation? Did you see the brand presentation? Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
full screen. Okay, we will have 30-second presentation by Cesar.
Okay, cool. So, oh. It's not sharing? It's not sharing, huh?
See?
Alt tab.
No, it's not sharing at all.
Sure. No, you are sharing. You just have to choose. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It keeps.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so my name is Cesar Pineda. I graduated from Cal Poly. It's EMET last year. Quick, I just do rock climbing. I'm a car enthusiast. I'm an engineer. That's me and Farbad, a couple of the other students. Quick roadmap of where I came from. I transferred to Cal Poly Pomona from Pasadena City College in 2020. I got my first internship in 2021. Second internship in 2022. But at the same time, I was an engineer contractor. So I was working as an actual engineer during school and also as an intern at the same time.
And then from there, I graduated, and now I'm working as an engineer at Boeing. So my first internship was at a EV startup. It was called Power Global. There, I was essentially assisting on like all electrical systems, help designing, bench testing. It was a lot of just R&D work. Everything was made in house. So we made the battery packs in house. That little unit, we made the entire vehicle system in house. So we got a took it apart, and then we just built the whole entire electrical system. So one main project I did was a battery module tester. It was to test the durability of the casing, the thermal reaction of the battery connecting to the charger itself over a certain time and distance. And it was a lot more like controls engineering. I did more PLC work there. And after that, I did an internship with Cummins. It was remote. All I did there was basically Python for like 8 hours a day straight. It was mostly just developing APIs, interactive dashboards. I did some machine learning. It was very little bit. I collaborated with the graduate intern. So we're just collecting data from a certain repository and then bringing it to a centralized part of the program. And then we just created dashboards from there. And then as I was a contractor is pretty fun. I was working in multiple startups. The majority of them were EVs. So I did a lot of EV charging stations. I would help redesign their systems. And so yeah, I'll get hired essentially by a startup and help with their electrical system. Say they want to make a new unit of that one or improve it. Well, I'll essentially help them redesign it. And then my biggest project was this vehicle here. We actually got a contract from the military. We took it all apart, took the whole diesel engine out, and we made a EV hybrid configuration for it. So we essentially designed a whole system for the vehicle within like 8 months. It was pretty rough. There was only 10 of us working on this. So working for military is not fun. So you guys know, if you guys are ever interested in it, it's tough. They expect deadlines like if you're a robot. It's kind of bad. But that was fun though. That was a lot of fun. And then now I'm at Boeing. At Boeing, I'm a hardware design engineer. I do a lot of work with mostly like custom PCBs from in-house. Right now, I'm more dabbling with firmware, FPGAs, and all that. So essentially, when you join a big company like Boeing, you're allowed to kind of just venture off to what you want to do. So at first, I was doing a lot of circuit analysis work. I was helping with the design of boards and all that. I wasn't really interested in that. I kind of found it boring. So I began to talk my way to like other teams and all that. Now I'm working with mostly FPGAs and software and firmware and all that. So it's a lot more fun than circuit analysis. But Boeing, I would like to talk about the projects I'm doing, but I clearly can't. So I mean, I just work with boards all day in the lab. And then special thanks to our bond and just all the friends I made here at Cal Poly Pomona. It was fun while it lasted. We all got each other jobs and all that. And then any questions? Perfect. You had a question?
Very quick, what do you recommend someone who want to like the same thing you're doing that Boeing?
As in like firmware, software, and all that?
Yeah. You're back to college.
Get into projects that require like firmware and software, trying to take rows on that. So kind of get more background on it. So like you can't get it through school, then at home, just buy like an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi and just start dabbling with it. Huh? Yeah, essentially. If you can't learn it through school, then teach yourself. Essentially, once you get into a big company, you're kind of allowed to do whatever you want. You just have to talk to your manager and be like, hey, I want to do this, and they'll find you a team. Or you just start talking with teams around there. Yeah. Any more questions?
We have questions for about 5 minutes. Any question from anyone? You're gonna stay if you want. Any question from anyone? We have 5 minutes. Oh, Jared. Jared, you have a question?
I was just wondering what that guy's name was.
Huh?
I was wondering what that guy's name was.
Okay, 1 second. What did you say?
I was asking what his name was.
What? What's he saying?
Sorry,
Huh?
I believe someone keeps muting. There might be a network error. I think I keep getting muted. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll save it for later.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, what is this? Whose name?
He was asking the last presenter whose name that was.
Oh, okay. Richard. Who was it? No, it was Brian. Brian. Any other question? We have 5 minutes. Question from anyone? Any of these guys? Let's see. What are these ones? Okay, I think I have a question for you guys, but I forgot. Okay, that's it, I think. If you don't
Yeah,
have any,
shoot the questions.
that was really interesting, everything.
Be about anything.
You did great. So they want to just show you that they are better than you. But
Oh no.
no, I mean, that's what you're trying to do. I know what you're
No,
trying.
no.
They want to show that they are better, but I'm sure you can prove them that they are wrong. Okay, in future, you can prove them that you are better than them. Okay. No question. That's it. Yes. Oh, Ezekiel, come over here. Come over here. Come over here.
Oh, what happened? Something's happening.
Ready for the questions.
Come here. Come here.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so this box is nothing.
I would like to introduce Ezekiel. Introduce yourself.
Hi there, Eagle.
Tell them that.
Hi guys, I'm Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
There's my face. So someone was mentioning that MSET was kind of like a hard major for like a federal job to really
Jesse said that.
yeah to really be accepted for like a federal job. Did anybody else experience that when trying to apply for like internships or jobs? Like the job was like, oh well, your major's not really for this or for our job. And if you did experience that, how did you overcome it?
So the way that I overcame it, wait, actually, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the name of the game out here is nepotism. That's how I made it out. So I actually have a friend that works at NAVC, and he actually kind of batted for me, and I guess somehow I hit it off with the supervisor, and so they actually gave me like the full engineering pay, but like officially I still have that technician title, so it's not gone.
Sounds
It's
illegal.
just, yeah, I have to, or they told me that as soon as I start, I could probably go back to school and do my master's.
Oh,
but yeah, it's just something with like one of the classes. It's like I think we're missing some type of calculus class, or I forgot what exactly, but we're technically technical, if pun intended there. But yeah, but it's only federal jobs. It's only federal jobs. Don't get scared. Don't think like, oh crap, this I messed up. I went to the wrong major.
well, because I had that issue. Like I was trying to get an internship, and then they're like, no, your major doesn't apply for this or something like that. And it was something like electrical or mechanical engineering. And I was like, you mother.
Yeah, no, that was like my exact same reaction when they told me the first time. Was this a federal or was this a private company?
No, it was like a civilian job.
Oh no, if it is because they don't know. This is
Yeah.
relatively new. This degree is not a traditional degree, so you have to explain to them. And you can show your coursework and everything. So just because they don't know, they don't have the knowledge.
Yeah, you kind of have to sell yourself.
Would professors and the guest speakers recommend putting something in your resume or something?
I would say sell yourself in the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the interview. Okay.
It really backs into your experience too. Like if you can supply enough experience and like stuff in your backing, you know, how you communicate to the interviewers. You gotta remember the first interview is just like sometimes they're just HR. They don't know anything about engineering. So it's just gonna be a vibe check. And then then once you get into the technical interviews, that's when you have to kind of show them that you do know some stuff. And you know, everybody knows that you're not gonna know everything. So it's you know, if you're a first time engineer going into a job, you're not going to know anything. So it's like that's expectant, but you at least make it seem like you, or at least show that you have this knowledge that you know what to do when it comes to that specific job description.
Okay, cool. We're gonna have to cut it now because everybody's leaving. The class is about to start. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you, guys. Good question.
Adios, bye-bud.
All right,
Miss you,
Prabhat, you
guys.
sticking around or are you leaving?
See ya.
All right, Prabhat, bring us with us, bring us when you go to, Brewworks.
Yeah, yes, sure.
Taking pictures of me, Justin's pictures.
Are you taking us to, Brewworks?
You still recording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you taking us to Brewworks?
Follow me.
Stop recording right now.
What do you
Yeah,
want?
yeah. Are you
No,
taking
no,
us
no,
to
it's just like
Brewworks or no?
Oh my God, can I have you in the video, in the recording? My friend Michael. Worked
Brother.
20
Nice to meet
years,
you.
yeah, Air Force, PhD from Caltech. It's
Oh,
my
wow.
privilege to have a video with him here as a friend, as a colleague.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I'm not stopping the recording. Yes.